There's a whole lot of horror out there in comics these days. Here's just what's coming out this week alone. Remember, this is not a set of reviews, just a list of what you'll find when you head to the shops this week in comics horror, July 19th, 2023. Welcome back to ML Miller Frights. I'm ML Miller. Before we begin, please do me a favor and punch that like button down below. Share this video with all of your social media addicted pals. Click subscribe to this channel and ring that bell for notifications. Let's check out This Week in Comics Horror, July 19th, 2023. This week in
ass, titties, ass and titties, ass, titties, titties, ass and titties.
Horror. Let me take a second to clarify why I highlight the covers of these comics so much with the cute little entendre. Sure, there's the obvious titillation factor, and my snarky way of making a comment about how it's a tad demeaning. But also I totally understand why some publishers plaster their comics with
ass and titties.
Sell. Plain and simple. And while some may find it sexist, it's a proven fact that these comics will entice some to buy it. Having worked for a company that specializes in this, I promise you these covers prompt both guys and gals to stop and take a second glance. Personally, I think it distracts from the strong writing and art that lie inside the covers because most of the time these comics are well written and full of really strong concepts. So I'm addressing this complex concept with all of the cute sound bites. It's not an endorsement or an out-and-out panning, just a little fun quip that they exist. That's it. With that said, there's a pair of comics with on the covers this week, and we start out with quite a pair indeed. Lady Death, Diabolical Harvest, #2 from Coffin Comics, continues Brian Pulido and Mike Maclean's mega crossover featuring Lady Death taking on a world-level threat. And not to be outdone, Uber writer Pat Shand delivers the next chapter in Liesl Van Helsing's long battle with the unknown in Van Helsing Hell to Pay #1 from Zenescope.
Give me a boo, boo, give me a B, B, give me a S, S, go boo!
This week in Indie Horror reveals the true passion in horror comes from the independent publishers. AC Comics, writer and artist Mark Heike, and writer Don Glut offer up Cauldron of Horror, #2, an anthology featuring mummies, Bigfoots, and spiders.
Oh my.
Cover of Darkness Revelations begins a new anthology series, continuing to do fresh and modern takes on classic monsters. This issue has art by the amazing Rags Morales. Prometheus in Chains #2 from Red 5 Comics delivers the classic Frankenstein tale set against the backdrop of World War II. If you like cryptids, you shouldn't miss Frank Frazetta's Mothman #2 from Opus Comics, writer Tim Hedrick, and an artist I can't get enough of, Andrea Mutti. And All Eyes #4 from Dark Horse continues the tale of the secret battle against giant spiders on the streets of New York. I'm loving this creepy, crawly horror series. Over in This Week in Horror from TV and Movies proves that comics is a cheap and affordable way to keep IPs going in print while the studios try to work out things with budgets and strikes. Boom delivers The Vampire Slayer #16, which continues to tell the story of the next vamp slayer who takes up the mantle after Buffy moved on. Over in The Walking Dead Deluxe #67, the usual crew of Skybound, Kirkman, and Adlard deliver the beginning of a new arc as the survivors head towards Washington, D.C. for answers, this time presented in full bloody color. And Declan Shalvey and Andrea Boccardo continue the story of Ridley Scott's first Alien movie in issue 4 as the crew of a new space rig is swarmed by xenomorphs. This Week in DC Horror brings forth another week of Night Terrors, the line-wide crossover where the heroes and villains are plunged into the nightmare world and live out their worst nightmares, all manipulated by the new villain, Insomnia. Of last week's titles, the one I liked the most, surprisingly, was the Zatanna issue. This week offers up books written by Danny Lore, Teenie Howard, Josie Campbell, Stephanie Williams, Becky Cloonan, Michael Conrad, and Joshua Williamson. Cripes, is this a DC event or an X-Men series? Find out for yourself in the new Night Terrors comics coming out this week, featuring Punchline, Catwoman, Wonder Woman, Nightwing, and Superman. Finally, I've got 2 comics I'm looking forward to the most. First is the return of Something is Killing the Children from creators Tinian and Dell'Edera. This highly successful comic from Boom Studios took a tiny break, but continues monster hunter Erica's quest to survive against monsters and the very guild who trained her in this 31st issue. And I cannot wait to see what one of my favorite comic writers, Brian Edward Hill, has in store for us with his new Blade series, which promises both horror and action, just the way Blade was supposed to be. I guarantee this comic will be worth picking up. Well, those are 17 horror comics on the shelves this week. Surely there's something in there you'll find worth your time and money. Let me know which ones look good to you down in the comments.
You're doomed to live the life you're meant to be, stuck inside your reality. You're